Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Far Sports Bar, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson. Now, let's get right to the show I have for you guys today. It is currently season 5, episode number 3. We are on today here on Recap Monday. Let's get right into it, guys. So, it's currently 11:39 p.m. on this Monday on September 16th. The Falcons and Eagles just wrapped up, so I was kind of waiting until that game wrapped up to just give you guys my final reactions from week 2 of the NFL season, from Thursday night football to the end, which was Monday night football. So we're going to be going over all the games, and we're going to be really going over any key factors that happened during the game, some injuries that have happened over late. And then, yeah, that will be pretty much it, guys, for our show here today. Again, guys, we are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. So let's get right into it. Here we go. So we're going to be going over one segment, technically 2 segments if you want to combine both of those. So right here, we have the NFL season is finally upon us. We are already, guys, in week 2, which is pretty crazy. But we are already in week 2, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going over the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first 12 games or so. So let me share my screen so you guys can know what the hell I'm talking about. And then we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so you guys can see my screen. First up, we are going to go with the NFL Week 2 biggest questions, takeaways for every game. So first up, we have the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. Well, Houston, actually, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go down to the Buffalo one. Because that was first. We'll start off with the Chicago and Texans. So the Sunday night game, Houston versus Chicago. Houston wins 19-13. Now, questions for the Texans. How can the Texans get all 3 receivers involved? Biggest hole in the game plan, an eye-popping advanced stat. So really for the Texans, how to really involve all 3. Stephon Diggs, bona fide superstar. Tank Dell, going to be one in the future. Nico Collins, same thing. Now, while Collins has his second consecutive 100-yard game with 135, Dell and Diggs combined for 30 yards. That's been the theme through the 2 weeks. Diggs has 2 touchdowns in 2024 with 70 yards receiving. Dell hasn't made many plays either, totaling 33 receiving yards. Offensive coordinator Bobby Slock most figure out how to get other playmakers involved to reach their potential. Like I said, guys, it is very hard to be a quarterback in the NFL to have 3 potential Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers in Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, and Nico Collins. But as being the quarterback of the Houston Texans and in that type of division and in the AFC, you got to be able to spread the ball around for all 3 quarterbacks. Again, you guys have to understand CJ Stroud is still a young quarterback. Still got things to get through. But the running game, Joe Mixon reached 159 rushing yards on 30 carries. CJ Stroud dropped back 39 times, called 21 rushing plays for 76 yards. Texans had success running the ball in week 1. So I think you really got to go to the run game. Can't have C.J. Stroud dropping back over 35 times. It's just not a recipe for success. So I think a mix of running, play action, some shotgun can do the trick. I just think they got to stay, play some sound football and really not try to do too much out there. So that's my Texans take. Now the Bears. How can the offense better support Caleb Williams? Well, maybe catching the ball, maybe running your routes correctly. In some instances, there were some drops. There were some routes that were ran to perfection. But the Bears in general, they're young. They got a long way to go. I mean, I don't know why people are overreacting like these guys were going to make a big splash in the NFC. I got them. I believe it's a 9-8 record for the season, or 8-9. I got them doing much better than they've had over the previous years, but I don't expect them to be in the playoff contention or be doing anything. So that's just my opinion on that. Now, again, also costly mistakes. 2 interceptions by Caleb Williams. One was late in the game, or it might have been both late in the 4th quarter. But it's just stupid decisions do not pan out for you to win a football game. The definition of stupid decisions was Kansas City, and they pulled out the win. The defending two-time champs had a lot of hit or miss type plays against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati played well enough to win that game. They just couldn't get the job done. Kansas City, two-time defending champs, they knew how to play in that thing. But a big question, what has happened to tight end Travis Kelce? Like, where is this crazy big play mobility? Where is this monster among men? He's not living up to the hype. He really isn't. Also, Patrick Mahomes not throwing the ball as much. A lot more running plays. There's certain things that we got to look for. We got to try to do some different things and see what the Chiefs are about. Bengals. Joe Burrow and his wrist wasn't really the best yesterday. I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't definitely at his peak. I believe. I think Joe Burrow can play a much better ball than that. Personally, I do think that's personal. Personally, I think that's what you got to go with. I think Joe Burrow definitely can play better ball. But for the sixth time, I believe in like 6 straight years, the Bengals go 0-2 to start the season. Now, Pittsburgh beating Denver 13-9. Steelers, is the defense as good as it's shown in the first 2 weeks? Again, they've been playing against garbage teams, but hey, it looks like Pittsburgh's got a great defense, and Justin Fields is doing just enough to win. Russell Wilson, you don't want to be crazy with his calf injury because he is the veteran. Excuse me. You want to keep him around, but at the same time, if Justin Fields is winning you games, that's a no-brainer. You got to keep him in. Broncos, their wide receivers are just trash. Bo Nix has like nobody to throw the ball to. They really got to get better at helping him out in the pass game. I would also say maybe catch the ball once in a while. That would definitely, I think that would definitely help big time. But those are some little things that they can clean up there, here and there. Again, I just think that there are certain things that this team can do, and there's certain teams that this team can't do. But I think the Broncos are going to have a long, rough season, most definitely. Now, Arizona, they have surprised so many people. They should have beat Josh Allen and the Bills last week. They did not get the job done. They had a lead, and they let the lead slip away from them. It is what it is. You're playing against Superman Josh Allen. He went nuts that game. And you didn't barely targeted Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, they definitely targeted Marvin Harrison Jr. in this game. This man had 4 receptions for 130-plus yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, guys. First quarter. It's pretty crazy. Arizona routs LA 41-10. They just got to keep the offense moving. Keep using the wide receivers correctly, as well as the running backs. James Conner had a pretty good day yesterday. You just gotta, you kind of just gotta keep them rolling, fast paced, and let's not slow down. I think the Cardinals can be a formidable opponent this year and really do some damage against teams that are probably better than them, but they overestimate themselves or whatever. And I think the Cardinals could pull out wins, just like they did with the Rams. Again, I think the Rams are a little bit worse than some other teams, but I think the Rams are still a good team. I don't think they're like one of the best teams, but still a good team. Or Rams, they have so many injuries, guys. Puka Nakua's out, Cooper Kupp's out. Matthew Stafford has been struggling for the last 2 games. I just think without any help on the wide receiving, it's just going to be a long injury-prone season for the Rams. Raiders, Baltimore, who would have thought? But this is the offense that the Raiders were supposed to be looking like. They put points up on the board. They got the win in Baltimore, 26-23. I don't think anybody would have picked the Raiders to beat Baltimore in Baltimore after the loss to Kansas City on opening night, the way they lost. But hey, this is why the NFL is so great. You never know. And things like this happen, and you just got to be ready for it. And for the Baltimore Ravens' sake, they got to be prepared and ready to jump on the and make a 360 and really go and really get after it, because if not, they're gonna get too far behind the eight ball, and that's not a recipe for success. It's a recipe for disaster. But they are playing my Cowboys this week, so we will see how the Ravens fare against the Cowboys, who just got torched by the Saints. Like I said, the Ravens, I just think they have not a lot of answers, man. Justin Tucker is also having some difficulties with his kicks. It looks like the man that's been automatic for years and years is getting older, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that many things for the next couple years. So he might be on his way for retirement soon. Lamar Jackson needs help. He can't do everything by himself, but that's really the main reason there. Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars. Cleveland 18, Jacksonville 13. Both quarterbacks, Deshaun and Trevor Lawrence, did not surprise it did not impress anybody. They both played like shit. Had a feeling Browns going to beat the Jags on this one, just because the Browns have a better defense, and Trevor Lawrence is still a younger quarterback. So we'll see. But both quarterbacks played absolutely ass. Jaguars, same thing. They both, the Browns and Jaguars, need some help. They're just not about it this year. Both teams. Respectfully, I just think that both teams are not about it. Commanders, Giants. I mean, nonetheless, both teams in the NFC East. Commanders suck balls. Jaden Daniels is great. Brian Robinson Jr. had a great day. Austin Eckler did some things too. I think the Commanders, they just couldn't guard Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors went off. I think the Commanders got a bright future. I just think this year is not going to work out for them. Giants, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Daniel Jones didn't really have a bad game. He actually played pretty well. Malik had a fantastic game until he coughed up the catch that could have basically won them the game late in the fourth quarter, and he dropped it. So that's really that right there. That's really the big difference. And then you have and then we will have to go to the 49ers and the Vikings. Actually, no, we got to go to the Jets. And no, my bad. Seahawks and Patriots. Seahawks and Patriots was an interesting one. Had a feeling it was going to be a close game. Didn't think it was going to go to overtime. But the Seahawks prevailed and pulled off the win. Patriots had some bright moments, but Seahawks just got the better of them. Our next game we would be going over would be the Jets and Tennessee. Aaron Rodgers finally gets a win for the Jets in their uniform against Tennessee. So that was great. I think the Jets have a formidable team. They just have to get on track and get consistent. Tennessee, Will Levis is a mess, man. I don't think he's going to do well anytime soon. So I think Will Levis is going to be a bust. A lot of Tennessee fans are already saying he is a bust. So now we move to Minnesota and San Francisco. Again, we knew that Christian McCaffrey was not playing in this game, which meant there was free reign for Minnesota go after the Brock Purdy, and that's exactly what they did. Forced him to do some hard throws that were not in his wheelhouse, and the Vikings get the big win over the Christian McCaffrey-less 49ers. I think the 49ers just got to get healthy. A lot of guys that are out are not healthy. But the Vikings look strong, man. Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold got that tandem right there. Bucks, Detroit. This one was a surprising one to me. I thought Detroit would have took this one, but Tampa Bay came in there and swooped that. Baker Mayfield put the team on his back. Mike Evans was quiet, but they didn't need them. Detroit, on the other hand, a lot of concern for Jared Goff and just the way he's been playing. There was a controversial call at the end that was made by the coach of the Lions, and it looks like it was not the right move. The Packers and Indianapolis. This one was a much more of a boring game than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, but that is exactly what that wasn't. Anthony Richardson did great things on the ground, but just couldn't get anything going in the air. No Jordan Love. It was pretty tough for the Packers. But they pulled off the win in Lambeau against the Colts, which is a really good team. Saints Cowboys. I don't really think I have to tell you guys anything else. We could not stop Alvin Kamara. He went all over us. Derek Carr looked like prime Drew Brees. Cowboys defense looked like Swiss cheese. And on top of that, the Cowboys defense also just gave up. Really, just gave up. The Saints just kept knocking them in the mouth, and they just had no resistance. So, and Cowboys, they just have no defense, and that's pretty much that. The offense wasn't really doing much. Chargers, Carolina, pretty bad of a game. Chargers did what they had to do and killed the Carolina Panthers. Panthers need a whole revamp. They benched Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. We'll see how that works out and how long that lasts. Buffalo and Miami. Again, Josh Allen put the team on his back. Miami lost everything. Tua got a concussion again. Out for a little bit. And it looks like Miami's not going to go on a nice run this year. Bills look like they're going on a nice run this year, but you never know. But that's the Bills. I think the Bills just need to stop making it all on Josh Allen. Can't be superhero all the time. And then on top of that, Miami, I just think needs to get healthy and be consistent and try to protect Tua, man. He's killing himself out there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, here for my show here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. Again, we recapped what happened yesterday in the sports world when it came to the NFL Sunday, from Thursday all the way to tonight. The last one that we have to go over is the Falcons and the Eagles. Falcons-Eagles just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. Falcons got the win 22-21 over the Eagles. Close one. Both teams I did not like. But I would have to go with the Falcons just because of the Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl. But yeah, guys, the Falcons, do I think they can make it? Nah, Super Bowl is definitely not in their cards. Most definitely not. Philly, I don't think so either. I think Philly and Atlanta are going to be stopped short very early. I don't think I think Atlanta makes the playoffs because of their division. But again, they got to go through the Bucks. And now the Saints look like they're a formidable talent. So we'll see what happens in the near future. But Jalen Hurts did what he had to do. Just couldn't get the job done. Kirk Cousins did what they were supposed to do and finally got his first win as a Falcon. So that's congrats to him. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for my show here on the Fire Sports Pod here on Recap Monday, where everything we do here is fire. I will catch you guys on Wednesday for season 5, episode number 4. Again, guys, this is season 5, episode number 3 here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. And I will catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace out.